I thought I'd throw in an intro to pivot tables. I think that pivot tables are extremely useful. They might not click right away to the beginner, but I believe that they are one of the most versatile and helpful things in Excel. Now, what is a pivot table? I describe a pivot table to be an aggregation tool. What does aggregation mean? Aggregation just means grouping things. So if I want the sum of all the items in storage available by storage, everything in cold, everything in dry, everything in frozen. Or I want to aggregate the categories, which means how many things do I have in the cooler? How many things do I have that are meat? How many dairy things do I have? What do we have in hardware? So basically, that's going to take available and aggregate it, or sum it, or average it. Aggregation can mean a number of categories. Now, doing a pivot table is, I feel, very simple. What I like to do for a pivot table is click somewhere on your spreadsheet where there's room. There's not anything to the right, not anything down. It could be way down here, but just click on a spot. And from there, I'll go to Insert, and right up here in the corner, Pivot Table. Notice you can click on either the top or the bottom. I'm going to click on the top. So where's my table range? It's just a range. We did make it into a table earlier. So now that I've made a box around what I want to aggregate, I can choose where to put the pivot table. Well, I've already chosen a cell that fits nicely. It recognizes that. I'm not going to change anything there. I'm just going to go right to OK. And this is the part that might throw people, but it's really quite simple. What do I want up and down? I want storage up and down. I want to know how many items are available and what category of storage. So I'm going to click first on storage. And it automatically puts it in rows. Also feel free to drag that down. Next, we want available. So I'm just going to click on available. Excel intuitively put it into values and chose sum, which is exactly what I wanted. Let's say I wanted average of available. It's just going to average over whatever numbers are here. So cold is going to average over these. Frozen will average these numbers, so on and so forth. Where are my pivot table options? Just click on the pivot table and they come back. So to change this from sum to average, I'm just going to go down here, go to value field settings. It gives me the option to aggregate in different ways. I can do count, average, max, min. Let's do average. And then we have the average, the maximum or minimum as well. So value field savings, go to max. And we have the max. So wherever there's cold, where's the max available? It's down here. Another option you have is with columns. So let's say that we want to put the aisle in columns. Let's drag this down to columns. And here we have cold, which is stored in these 4 locations, these 4 aisles. Dry's in this location, frozen's in this location, and it gives you the grand total. Not bad, right? And the reason they call it pivot table is because you can pivot. You can make these rows. I'm just going to drag this down. Ignore that for a second. And then take storage and put it up here with columns. So now I have fewer selections across the top, which is probably preferable. So one thing that's making this kind of unpleasing to the eye is how these are justified. So I can just click on this, go up to alignment, and then they're justified. Probably a situation where you might want grid lines, but like I said before, the border button takes care of that. And here we have a different level of analysis you can take to management. So pivot tables takes a little bit of practice to get into it. Play around with this. You'll be surprised with what you can do yourself. Me being a hands-on guy, I learned this just by doing. And again, we could go on for half an hour about pivot tables. I feel like hands-on practice would most benefit.